Welcome to Healing Through Dentistry podcast,
where we redefine health, wellness, and the power of your smile.
We're your hosts,
Hanna
and Eva, twin sisters, qualified dentists and medical doctors.
This is more than a dental podcast.
It's a journey into profound connection between oral health and whole body healing.
Through personal stories, inspiring client transformations, and expert insights,
we explore how dentistry can ignite energy, relieve chronic pain, and transform lives.
Get ready to discover the extraordinary ways your smile can heal, inside and out.
Let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to next episode. We have just come back from France, so let us know if there is any French listeners out there. And we would be talking about recording sets of videos for summer. So we would like to inspire you what we have been doing in our self-development, on our mindset, and let's the episode begin.
Yes, beautiful, Eva. And maybe let's just start with the weekend, because we went for a weekend to France to see our friends who we met through Dr. Joe Dispenza work. So we met these two beautiful ladies in one of the retreats with Dr. Joe Dispenza. It was in London, right?
It was in London, 2022. So it's been 3 years, almost on a day.
And we are sharing this because through the honest conversations we have and through, the experience we have gone through together, we see that the healing in general and even, our life evolution in general wouldn't happen without digging into our subconscious, our family patterns, our communication with ourselves first, but also with our closest family, friends, and people around us. And it does so much influence your general health that it is almost unbelievable. So let us talk about, let's start to talk about Joe Dispenza and what is his work for the world. Eva, what do you think?
I would share our story. So we and the sisters, we call ourselves sisters, and we have a joint chat. So we have met in London. It was my first retreat. It was our Hanna first retreat with Joe Dispenza. And we have had only, I would say, one experience with energy before with Eric Pearl in Prague. And we are thankful for other community, which is community with Fabian Fredrickson Boldheart, who is gathering women, and she is teaching you how to live life, impact people, and have fulfilled life and have impact in the world. So the first experience with Eric Pearl was in London, but when we came to it was in Prague. But when we came to London, it was something we have always wanted to experience, because I have admired Joe Dispenza for his research. I admire him as a researcher. I admire him as a doctor. I admire him as a scientist.
And as a human being, because he's a beautiful person.
Yes, well, such a value, such a communication. What a gift to translate information for all of us. And it's such a gift to see him also evolving, because since 2023 August, we have attended several retreats.
Since 22, yeah.
22. And so we see him evolving every 6 months. So it's just astonishing how much each of us, not only Dr. Joe Dispenza, but each of us evolves over the years. So when I came to retreat, I have to say I didn't have any expectation. I loved that he came to Europe, and I loved that I could be a part of this big group where there was 2,500 people. You have to sign several months ahead, and the events usually are sold out within minutes. And I feel like this is a space for us to share our experience, also the tips and also the recipe, how to maybe reach Joe Dispenza, or later on we will talk about other modalities or what we have gone through. And I have to say, I haven't even realized that I am missing anything in my life. I haven't even realized I am stressed in my life, I didn't really feel I am missing anything. So you're meeting at the retreat lots of people who are looking for health benefits, they are looking for healing because the Western medicine has not helped them. And there's lots of people who have Parkinson's disease, autoimmune disease, cancer, multiple sclerosis, LAS, lots of people who are looking for healing. For me, it was later on when I realized that I am in sympathetic mode because I realized I did not yawn at all. I haven't had any sensation when I put my hand on my heart. And that's what actually the work begins for each of us. For me, it was like, okay, connect with myself. And slowly, by the work he does, he is leading meditations and through his work to get the neural system into parasympatheticus. And I think this is a key for healing. It's not the nutrition at the first place, it's how you balance your neural system. So you allow your body to start healing, because if you have right nutrition, if you have right lifestyle, you're not able to absorb the nutrients if the body is in stress. And the stress, again, as Joe Dispenza, he says, it could be chemical, it could be emotional, or it could be toxic. So I think we, Hanna, in a clinic, we help with one part, which is like the toxicity of the metals, of the root canals, and of titanium implants. But I think the key for our clients is to combine the work with themselves, with each of them, to balance the neural system in order to start healing.
Correct, Eva. You just said it all in a nutshell. So maybe let me just touch on the most important thing you've just said, and it's to how to balance our nervous system,
automatic nervous system.
You were talking about yourself not being able to feel your heart, not yawning, and most of us actually don't realize that it's not normal. Most of us are actually in a flight and fight, so-called sympathetic nervous system mode, and we're doing, and we're not allowing to stop and breathe out. So I love not only the retreats that you learn such thing, that you learn to rebalance your nervous system, but also I love the retreats or the community in general, because you do meet people just like you, normal people who do live lives and who do sometimes struggle in lives, and they do not know why. In this era of high technology and us being able to do, at least in the Western world, to do everything and anything at one time, meaning you can read a book, you can write a book, you can listen to a podcast, you can do emails, you can do certain jobs, everything on your phone. You get notifications, you constantly are kind of in a stress, in alert. And that's why I think it is very necessary for all of us to find a technique or find a modality or find something which is just gonna disconnect us. It's probably not gonna be meditation for all of us, but meditation doesn't necessarily need to be that you sit down and are quiet kind of a thing for an hour and a half. Meditation can be that you go in the nature, and then that you obviously ideally leave your phone at home and you disconnect and you are trying to be present. So the present moment is the key, and it doesn't really matter if it is a meditation or if it is running for you, if it is cycling for you, if it is dancing for you, if it is singing for you, if it is painting or having a massage. It can vary, but it is very important to disconnect from the sympathetic mode, from the do mode, and balance it with the being mode, because that's what in these days a lot of us forget about, or we don't allow ourselves to have a space, to have a being time, to have a rest time. We feel guilty. We feel like we owe something to others, to our children, to our friends, to our businesses. But that's the issue, right, Eva? And then we definitely see it in a clinic. We see it on the retreats we do or on self-development workshops we do, that, almost all of the disease, like almost everything is coming from stuck emotions, from traumas, from like family patterns we can't actually get out from. And that is influencing your bodies. And so that's why it was really important for me to even just be at the weekend with the girls and maybe see their perspectives and their shares from a different angle. Because obviously, the more you see person, more detail, if you're willing to, and if you're interested in their story, you are finding out. And it is so impressive, not only them, like we all been going through a healing journey, different ones for each of us. And it is so beautiful to see how the work actually is helping so much. Maybe we can just share some Joe Dispenza, stories we've ever experienced over the years. Like I remember this Swedish guy who has had a Parkinson's disease, and he was sitting next to us after one of the coherence healing, which is like special kind of a meditation Joe Dispenza does with all of us. And he was healed. Like you saw it in his face, in his mimics, in his energy, that he's a different person.
Yeah, your personal reality creates your personality. So it's kind of education behind the work of Joe Dispenza. So every time when I talk to my clients, talk about Joe Dispenza work, I always take 2 minutes to talk about this kind of work with clients, because it's education behind it. It's something you have to learn, and mainly you have to unlearn to be in order to learn new things. So my favorite book of his is
Breaking the Habit
of Being Yourself. So this is one thing what I recommend to clients. But I usually, start with a very easy thing, which everyone can go and do, which is to see on YouTube a meditation called Go Love. And it's 15-minute music. And
guided meditation, right?
I tell my clients to just close the doors, shut the doors. There is children, there is husbands, there is business, and take these 15 minutes just to listen to this music. Close the eyes and just be.
And see what happens and how it actually works for you. But what would I add, Eva, before you go on, is that maybe the best thing, if someone's interested in knowing more, is to see his recent documentary, his recent movie called The Source. We probably have shared that before, but I think it's a revolutionary in that sense that it's a movie. It's a documentary which has been documenting the retreats and his work. And of course, it's so much easier for all of us in these days to see a document or to see a movie where people do share amazing healing stories. That was a doctor actually who went through a cancer and there was no cancer. There was a young lady who couldn't even walk and then she walked. There was a lady who actually has had her thyroid gland removed surgically because there was issues, and it healed back. So it is so important for me to know this work, because we can suggest to our guests at Do a Smile to perhaps open his book, see his documentary, and help themselves even more. Like Eva said at the beginning, we are here in a physical, kind of in a 3D world, to help navigate with the dental interferences in the mouth, which is the three main ones, like you said, Eva, but I'm going to repeat, which is metals in our body, which is root canals in our body and which is cavitations in our body, meaning chronic infections of the bone. And not funnily enough, but it's not a coincidence that it is connected with Joe Dispenza as well, because he's teaching you a neuroscience about, our body. And he knows that metals in general, they influence the electricity of our bodies. And if you imagine that every single cell consists of plus and minus, like VO energy, 99.999999999% is being energy, and that 0.0000000, how many zeros, I don't know, 0.1 is matter. So imagine, so we mostly consist of energy. And if you do have like metals which are, conductive and which do influence the the energetical environment in our bodies, of course it does have influence on us. So I probably was trying to say that not only the physical interferences, what you see, and toxic things, what you perhaps have in your body, influence your general health. There are other stuff. So one of them is the nervous system and, the fact, as Eva said, that we're constantly in flight and fight mode, but then also our family patterns and traumas. It doesn't necessarily need to be your trauma. It can be a family trauma, and we can see it on so many of our friends. We can see it on ourselves because we can go back to our parents, we can go back to their parents and their parents, and we can track the pattern which is in our family. So we probably...
Yeah, I would like to share also for listeners who they don't know Joe Dispenza at all, what is actually experience of others if they come to the retreat. Because, you could be there and you have, you kind of see, you're in the community, you feel that it's beautiful community. That's one thing. But also you see that we are all different and we all have different experience in our meditations. So I loved also sharing with the girls at the weekend what are our experiences. And, I also recommend everybody to see some testimonials on Joe Dispenza website, because I think that's how we as humankind, we learn from each other. I think the world will be changed by us, by clients or guests, or by you, that you're requesting certain care. And I think that's you who are going to change and move us practitioners, doctors, who are maybe some of us thinking too much in a Western tunnel vision. So we are all different. So for me, one retreat was that I had a big diarrhea and I was vomiting and I was very weak and I couldn't eat. Whatever I ate for several days, it was going through, but I have never felt better. I had acne like I was a teenager. The skin was full of pimples, but something moved within me which I needed. And I'm referring to a third center, because the third center is like you're controlling your life. So you try to let go and don't control. And this was on a physical level. The energy moved me. And I understood very early that I'm not going to help myself with supplements, which I had, like the herbal stuff I have in my luggage. But the community, more experienced community, the guys I met, they were greeting me and saying good morning and congratulations for your biological upgrade, because this is a common reaction of the body for the healing mode. So sometimes
releasing trauma. So it can have obviously several forms, but one of them is that you are not being well.
Yes, some of the times you could really get sick or worse or not feeling well in order to heal. The other experiences which are beautiful are, so I was sitting next to Argentinian lady, and I was not feeling well, so I was not talking, but she talked to me at the beach. She said, "You were so quiet, so, how are you?" And she told me her story, because I said, "Look, I mean, I'm here, this is happening, I'm not feeling well, but other than that, I don't have any sensations." What she shared with me was important, and I think this is, again, the major thing for us, the communities or mankind, is that we share the experiences. That's why we are here, and share not only the dental experiences, the healing experiences from our dental clinic, but also a side of the clinic, which is the work with Joe Dispenza, and then later
our life experiences, right?
Yes, later on others. So she has been doing Dr. Joe Dispenza work for a year. And there is one meditation, which is also a lying meditation. So which Hanna, she said, meditation, you don't need to do meditation. You can go for a run. You could just dance. But Joe Dispenza, he has different meditations to show you that you could, everything, for everyone works something different. So he has a walking meditation, lying meditation, sitting meditation, standing meditation. So this lady, she was doing a lying meditation, which is for an hour. You do breathe, it's beautiful music. And only once what happened to her, she said she had a vision of a lineage of women from her ancestors standing in a line and supporting her and being a support for her. And it was such a major and beautiful thing for her, that it's the support of your ancestors, that it changed her health also and her benefits. So for me, it's fascinating what I hear from all friends or all people I meet. I love the synchronicities which are happening there, not only there in the retreats, but in my life, because it's all about your energy, what your energy you emit to the world, it comes to you. So, if you're in fear, that's the stress mode, that's, you're closing up, you're shutting down, then you're not going to heal.
And you're going to be attracting fear. So I think this is important for the end, maybe just to remind ourselves that how we think and how we act and how we feel influence our lives, our bodies, 100%. So if I'm just going to be thinking in the negatives and not being enough and, saying, okay, this is just going to go wrong, it actually is going to go wrong. So Joe Dispenza also teaches you how to reverse this. That's probably the book you were talking about breaking the habit of being yourself.
Which starts with realizing this, which is amazing. If you're aware of this, perfect. This is the first step of changing yourself.
So what we do is, and I think we're quite lucky, Emma and me, I think I can talk for both of us, that we've always been leading with positivity. So we are always thinking in great scenarios, but we do know people around us and even in our family who have it vice versa. So how you think, how you act, and how you feel does influence you, and you're basically setting for a biochemistry in your body which does either heal you or make you bad. It's your decision what you choose, but we choose.
Yeah, your personality creates your personal reality.
Which is the fun. Okay, so I think that was the first one
from the series for summer, and we will talk to you next episode. Thank you.
Take care and have fun. Have a good summer.
Thank you for joining us on Healing Through Dentistry podcast. We hope today's conversation has inspired you to see your smile as the gateway to whole body well-being.
To stay connected, visit us on our website or follow us on social media.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit.
Until next time, remember, healing starts with a smile.
Take care,
and we will see you in the next episode.